Hello, and welcome back to Mr. B Teaches History. Today's lecture will focus on the one war of American imperialism fought at the end of the 19th century, the Spanish-American War. So let's get started. In an attempt to push out Spain in 1895, Cubans sabotaged and attacked plantations on the island and attempted to pull in the United States as an ally. In response, Spain sent 100,000 soldiers to crush the revolt. The press in the United States also sensationalized stories about the events in Cuba so that Americans would urge Congress and the President to intervene and stop the suffering for humanitarian reasons. The Spanish minister to the United States also wrote a letter to President McKinley that many consider an official Spanish insult against the United States' honor. Lastly, the USS Maine at anchor in Havana suddenly exploded in February 1898, and the yellow press in the United States accused the Spanish of sabotage. McKinley called for a ceasefire and Spain agreed, but the American public wanted and got war. They also declared in the Teller Amendment to the War Declaration that the U.S. had no intention of taking political control of Cuba. The war was over in only a few months. Theodore Roosevelt, who ran the Navy, ordered the country's all-new steel navy to the Philippines, which was under Spanish control. The Spanish fleet there was destroyed, and in several months the Americans captured the capital of Manila with Filipino rebels. The invasion of Cuba was worse because more men died from malaria than battle. Regardless, the American and Cuban forces defeated the much larger Spanish force on the island. The most celebrated event was when Theodore Roosevelt led a regiment of volunteer cavalry up San Juan Hill. More importantly, though, the Spanish fleet in Santiago Bay were defeated in July 1898, causing the Spanish to ask the United States for terms of peace. The peace treaty provided several things. First, Cuba would be an independent nation. Secondly, the United States acquired Puerto Rico and Guam. Third, the U.S. paid $20 million to Spain for colonial control of the Philippines, which was opposed by many in the United States. Anti-imperialists were determined to defeat the treaty due to the colonial acquisition of the Philippines because it violated the principles of the Declaration of Independence by denying Filipinos the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and entangle us in political conflicts in Asia. It was approved by a one-vote margin. The people of the Philippines were outraged that they were being denied their independence by their American allies and started to rebel against their American occupiers for the next 3 years, leading to the deaths of 5,000 Americans and several 100,000 Filipinos. The Supreme Court also ruled in the insular cases between 1901 and 1903 that the rights of the Constitution did not automatically extend to territorial possessions, and that Congress had to decide whether or not to grant those rights to the colonies like the Philippines. The U.S. gradually removed soldiers from Cuba, but only after they agreed to several conditions like never signing a treaty with a foreign power that impaired their independence, permit the U.S. to interfere in its affairs to preserve its law, order, and independence, and allow the U.S. to maintain naval bases on the island, including Guantanamo Bay. The victory filled Americans with national pride, and many European nations recognized the power of the United States due to its navy and its willingness to act in international affairs.
If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or clarifications you would like to make about this lecture, please leave a comment below. If you learned something new, please consider leaving a like. If you would like to receive notifications of more content like this, please consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell. If you would like to support this channel and creator financially, please check out the links in the description for merchandise or sites that will provide me direct financial support for the work of this channel. Thank you for your time and have a great day. Class dismissed.